Hello everybody, this is Edward and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft on the Unity server. Today I'm going to be showing you my top my top level up here, and this wasn't exactly how I left it for the second ring, which is going to be, well, it's my nature area with a bee house, but now it's become my bamboo area. Okay, I believe I have been pranked. I am the subject of some mirth on this server, and someone has, or a group of people have decided to turn my lovely garden area into a bamboo jungle, and I can't even get into my bee house. Okay, I can't even squeeze through. I need to lose some weight. Oh dear. Well, I wasn't expecting this to happen. I was going to be building my next room level up here. If I can get up here, I got to squeeze past the bamboo. Oh, they even put it on every single piece of dirt block. At least it's not up here, which is handy. You know what? I'm pressing every button except for the one I'm wanting to press. There we go. That's what I want to get out. Okay. So it looks like, yes, I've definitely been pranked for today. Actually, I don't know when this had happened, because this was around. I haven't been on the server for about 2 days, so I've been busy with work and whatnot, so there's been ample time for somebody to prank me, and it looks like they have taken this opportunity to prank me. I'm going to have to inevitably remove all of these bamboo. Let's see how good my aim is before I do that. Direct hit, and oh dear. No, that chicken has gone a-flying. Well, I'm going to be removing this, but before I do, let's start with the hello. Hello everybody, how's everyone? I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and if not, let's make it a wonderful day. So, boy oh boy, I'm going to keep all this bamboo because, well, I used to use bamboo for fuel, but I decided to go with lava buckets instead because, one, you get to keep the bucket, and two, it lasts a lot longer. Oh, sorry, and the third point, which I forgot, is that lava is renewable now, so all very important things. So, hence why I use lava buckets, and bamboo burns oh so quickly when you're using it in a furnace. So I decided to stop using bamboo. But now I've got quite a bit, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it all. And I've run out of space already. You know what? I need to get rid of these eggs. It's my fault for putting chickens up here, and I need to empty out all the spare stuff I have spare, which I was going to use for building materials today. I'll just chuck it in here. Get rid of all the stuff. There we go. And this is going to give me a chance to collect all this, because whoever pranked me, well, I'm sure I'm going to have to get them back and prank them first. Second, I'm a bit late for pranking someone first, but at least now I've got a good retaliation prank idea that I've been putting in the works. Oh, they even got back here as well. Oh boy, okay, let's just clear this out and get through it all. Anyway, interesting fact of the day is not coming from my QI book that I've been reading from the last couple of recordings. This one I found out, I'll get into the backstory of it first, but no, it won't. I'm going to do the backstory afterwards. What I did find out was, everyone knows the company Heinz. They do your Heinz baked beans, you have Heinz tomato soup. They do a lot of products, Heinz, all tin foods, and I'm sure other things as well that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I found out the other day, I'm going to be reading this verbatim here, so hopefully I can do both, play Minecraft and read, while I walk along this very narrow edge. Okay, the very first Heinz product, bottled horseradish, saved homemakers from the thankless but necessary task. The preparation of horseradish as a condiment required long and tedious grating. Heinz believed from his early experiences that women would gladly skip the process of grating their own horseradish if they could buy a trusted packaged product. His hunch proved correct, and the product sold well. He packaged his horseradish in aqua or clear glass so customers could plainly see the quality of the product inside. Now, isn't that interesting? I mean, I've grown up with Heinz, a lot of Heinz products in our house, and I obviously buy Heinz products as well to eat, and I had no idea they started out producing, of all things, evaporated horseradish in a jar. So it's interesting, and I only found out because many years ago, maybe not too many, 2-3 years ago, I bought the DVD of the TV show Mr. Selfridge, which is about the department store at the turn of the, was it 1901, I think it's set in, or around that time period. I forget, they tell you at the very beginning what year it is. And during the show, one of the episodes, there was an advert for Heinz evaporated horseradish, and I was like, I wonder if that's the Heinz that we know today. And sure enough, doing my research, I found the website that talks about the first product and the new things that I guess the factory and all its innovations, and I'm kind of fascinated by that era of time, the beginning of the 1800, I'm getting all confused now, during the turn of that century in 1900s. Very fascinating time with the Industrial Revolution, and it was a very unusual time as well, but obviously things have changed a lot since then, thank goodness. No more child labour, thank heavens. Not a very nice thing, but also medical research has really evolved in the 121 years since then, so, but still a very fascinating time. I do like period pieces, I do like watching those types of television shows. Oh goodness me, I'm running out of space. And Mr. Selfridge was one that I've had wanting to watch for a very long time now, and I finally thought, I'm going to watch it, and that's how I came across the information about the Heinz, the first product of Heinz. So there we go, that's that interesting facts. Not such a quick fact today because I talked a lot about it. It's okay. There we go. Sometimes facts aren't so quick. Okay, well, I'm just making sure that I'm not missing too much. I'm sure some of the bamboo has gone over the side, but that's okay. We can get that later. There we go. Grab those ones here. Now, I've got to figure out who did this to me and how I'm going to do the revenge prank on them. And but that's for me to do some research later on, find out who did this. So, what else has been happening? I've been exercising a lot lately. It's been a very nice winter we've had here in Sydney. The sun has been very warm, and it's allowed to, it's been very encouraging to go outside and exercise. Not that you can do much else outside because we are still in lockdown. And so I've been exercising every morning, making sure I get a good walk in to keep healthy and fit. And I've been soaking in the sun as well and making sure I bust a sweat because, I want to stay in good health and try and get rid of some of this belly fat that I've got, but I'm not doing a very good job of it. But yes, been exercising, and one thing that happened earlier on in the week, I was out about exercising and I was wearing a face mask to protect myself and others, so I guess to protect others really, because the face mask is more about stopping germs coming out of me than stopping me breathing in bad germs. So, my goodness me, we're going to have a lot of chickens around here, and the problem is they've decided to go walk about from this area here and gone down into the bottom areas of the tower, so I'm going to have to rescue them up here and bring them back up here. But back onto the building, which is what I was doing before, and back to the story. So I was walking about outside enjoying the fresh air and exercising, and I had my face covered, which I usually do whenever I go out. I have my face covered with just a plain blue and white mask, nothing special. For me, it's not so much a fashion statement, but though some companies have pounced on the opportunity to try and sell these things with a brand name on it. I'm not cool like that, and sometimes I worry about these kind of things. It's just like I come from a practical background, so the masks are a practical thing, and I don't really want to show off mask flair, if you catch my drift. So I was walking about, and then I had my music in, and I was about 10 minutes into my walk and going down a particular road, very quiet, somewhat quiet road. I was going to say very, but it's not that quiet. Anyway, I was crossing the road, and coming the other way was an older gentleman. I'd say he told me his age. He was in late 70s, but he still looked like he had quite a bit of energy about him because he was out about walking. And he looked at me, and he had a grumpy look on his face, and he said something, and he pointed at me, and he kept walking. And I took out my headphones, and I was like, "Pardon, what was that?" And he goes, "That mask on your face, you're breathing in CO2. How can you walk around with a mask on like that?" And this is obviously someone who had hang on. Let's hold the story for a second there, and we are going to deal with these phantoms. Oh boy, they certainly inflicted quite a bit of damage on they got one heart, quite a bit on the attack. And my crossbow, oh boy, okay, I'm getting surrounded and a little flustered. Okay, regain my position, aim the crossbow. Oh, I can't, sometimes the crossbow is a right pain in the hiney, so I'm just going to go with the sword. Okay, focus, go. We're just going to try and get them here. Not doing too well, but I am getting... Oh boy, I think one more bite and I'm in trouble. Take this opportunity to load up my crossbow. I got myself a lot. How many? 4. There are 4 phantom membranes. That's pretty good. Now let's eat our potato and hope that none other spawn. There we go. Well, I don't really want to take on phantoms, but I do need the phantom membranes for potions, so I'm going to take the opportunity, and I will keep I keep forgetting to keep my crossbow primed and ready for such an attack, and I don't know why I keep forgetting. But anyway, moving back onto the story. So the old guy started having a go at me, saying I shouldn't be wearing a mask out in public, and that it's ridiculous that people are. And I mean, he was very flustered and frustrated and rather having a go at me, having an attack, and he was angry. And I know that I could have got angry and said, well, I'm doing it for my safety, or this is what I did say. I said, I'm doing it for the safety of other people. I work with people with compromised immune systems. I look after them, and so I have to make sure that I look after myself and not allow myself to get sick. And don't know how I feel about that. I don't know about the bottom 2 either side. I might put regular brick back just because it looks a little bit unusual like that, because that's going to be the bit underneath the window. So the gentleman said, yes, but you're breathing in CO2 because of that mask. And I was like, well, I wasn't not too worried about CO2. I said, look, doctors have proven that the blood oxygen levels with a mask on is perfectly fine, and this is stuff that I've seen and read on the internet, of course. I mean, that's about as much research as I've done. But the old man was very adamant about how most of this was just overblown because of the media, and he kept going on and on and on, and he was still quite frankly very distressed and uptight and mad about the whole thing. And I could have gotten angry, I could have gotten aggressive and said, look, I'm just trying to look after myself and other people, and I don't need to be chewed out because I'm trying to do the right thing here. But you know what? There's a saying yeah, I like the look of that. There's a saying, much more than the other one I had before. There's a saying, if I can say it, goes that you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And it's very true. Had I gotten angry and huffy-puffy or even defensive about it, none of us would have succeeded. It probably would have ruined my day and ruined his day even more, because I don't know if he was looking for a fight or what it was, but in the end I just started talking to him in a calm, gentle manner, and I put forward my arguments about the thing, and he certainly put his forward, and we spoke for a while back and forth about the whole thing, and he wanted to get his point across, so I listened. And that's the main thing about having a conversation, is remembering to listen to someone when they're talking to you. It sounds like pretty sensible, something that we should be doing every time we have a conversation, but it's very easy to forget. And so we spoke for a while, and then we got talking about, after that, because he was talking about how he was looking after himself and he doesn't worry about catching COVID or anything like that, and I wanted to talk to him about the benefits of vaccines and wearing masks and all that, because he was very much against getting the vaccine as well. And I have been fully vaccinated because, I want to protect myself and I want to protect those around me. So if taking a vaccine will help me and others, then I'm going to be doing that. And so, again, I could have gotten very defensive about it, but doing that would not have been a good way to handle the situation, because it would have meant he would have gotten defensive and aggravated, and there was no way to have a discussion with someone. So we talked for a while about it, and then we got talking about something else, about the general area where we lived, and then he wanted to show me a new house which was being built around the corner from where we were. And I quite like that, with the chiseled brick in the middle like that. Yeah, that works for me. I think I'll do that for the others, and I figured I'll have a look before I do the other three, so that way I don't have to fix anything that I don't like like I had to do with the window frame. So we went for a walk and we spoke for a long time. We ended up speaking for about 45 minutes. And he lived very close in the area from, and so we actually, for the last bit of for the next bit of my walk, I should say, me and him walked past his house, and he showed me his house and the area, and he was talking about how he liked living here and all that. And he was a very nice gentleman in the end. And, I've only just met him. We introduced each other, of course, ourselves to each other. And his name was John. And in the end, he seemed to get on very well when he realized that I wasn't there to fight, but I was just there to have a conversation with him and treat him like a human being. But I figured he must have been putting up with a lot of aggravation from people who disagree with him. And of course, people, if they don't know how to handle the situation, might put up a fight and might decide that the best way to handle it is to tell him off and tell him that he's wrong. But I didn't want to say that he was wrong. I might not agree with what he was saying, but it's not my place to say that he's wrong. I certainly wouldn't know how to put forward the correct arguments in such a situation, but me getting angry wasn't going to solve anything at all. And so that allowed me just to kind of keep calm and in the right frame of mind to make sure that I could talk to him. And I think talking to him was the best thing for him to have, because it allowed him to actually connect with someone, and that in the future I'll be able to talk to him about these things, these more serious issues, just so that way he might be able to, hopefully at that point he might respect my opinion a bit more, and I won't be a stranger, and I might be able to tell him about the benefits of vaccines and wearing a mask. And heaven only knows, I might be able to change his mind, I might not. I might do the complete opposite, and he might double down and really put up a fight against it. I don't know. But he was something like 77 years old, so he seemed pretty determined about proving his point. And yeah, it ended up that I know that one thing that has stuck in my mind, especially when it comes to vaccinations, a colleague of my father's, when I met him, he's been around, and he's always been in conversation while I was living at home, I should say. And we knew him a lot, but I never really met him face to face until maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe a bit more. I can't remember. Time goes so quickly now, doesn't it? And when I met him, he walked with a very defined limp, and part of his leg, part of his calf muscle, a huge chunk of it, I should say, was completely missing. So after I met him, I spoke to my father. I said, look, what happened, was he involved in an accident or something like that? And he goes, no, he wasn't vaccinated for polio. And as such, he lost a big part of his calf because of it. Now, I don't know too much about polio, and it's something I feel like I should have read about before recording this, so maybe it will give me a chance. But I know that had my dad's co-worker been vaccinated against polio, he may have had 2 good legs, but because of the polio virus, he ended up losing a huge chunk of his leg, which is very, very sad. And so obviously, I mean, that's one thing that vaccines have helped with. So vaccines are very important in my view. And again, I'm not going to argue with someone if they say no, they're not, they're terrible things, yada yada, but I would rather try and help them understand, and if they choose not to, well then obviously, I mean, it's a bit outside of my capabilities of trying to prove them otherwise, but I do think they are important, and if you get the chance to be vaccinated, I would highly recommend it. I know I try and get my flu, or I have to get my flu vaccinations every year, so even though most of the time, and I shouldn't laugh about it, but most of the time, even though I get my flu vaccination, I do still come down with the flu, so I obviously get the strain of flu that I wasn't vaccinated against. So kind of ironic that, but that is life, isn't it? You can't control germs too much because they like to spread. And they are so small and invisible, and they are incredibly interesting and marvelous things because a whole heap of germs are inside our body all the time. And yeah, it's all part of life, is it not? And hopefully we find cures for all the nasty things, but we do still need bacteria in our bodies to keep us alive and well. We have E. coli inside our tummies, making sure that we stay, it does its job, it does a lot of things to break down the food and the whatnot in our stomachs. I'm not sounding very professional now, am I? But anyway, not to worry, that's okay. Now I need to do some research though, and have better evidence to talk about these things. But for the time being, I think I'm quite happy with this next level, and I might do another level on top of this. It's certainly getting bigger, this tower, and I'm worried about the amount of height space I have left. I'm just going to put this away, and there we go. I might put this egg and see if I can hatch this egg, and I'll keep hold of the membranes for the time being. I do love the sound of the rain. I find it very relaxing. Even Minecraft rain, they did a good job with the rain. Okay, so that's the next level above our little garden area. Obviously there's no glass in there, but then as we go up, the rooms are going to get bigger and bigger until I run out of height space. But I think they said the next update they would increase the height. I can't remember. But that's it for today. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.